Oh, well, I watched 50 Shades of Grey that one time, so I know exactly what a 24/7 dynamic is supposed to look like. You're supposed to have a contract, you're supposed to have 24/7 dynamics look very different for a bunch of different people. And this is the thing that gets under my skin when people are like, "Oh, this is exactly how it's supposed to go." To be honest with you, there's no like one true specific way to do any of this, especially in a 24/7 dynamic, because I'm about to tell you my experience and what I do in my 24/7 dynamic. A bunch of the things I'm about to tell you could be wrong for your dynamic. It might not even be things that you want. It might not even be things that you thought of in the first place. What matters, what truly matters in a 24/7 dynamic is that everything in it works for you specifically in your relationship. Get rid of everything else. As long as it works for you, keep it. If it doesn't work for you, get rid of it. There's a very common misconception about these types of relationships, especially with it being a 24/7 dynamic, is that you are always on. You're always a Dom, you're always a sub, you're always in that headspace, which is the furthest thing from the truth. That's why we have the terms Dom space and sub space, and I can completely go into those in a different video. But a 24/7 dynamic does not mean that you are fully on, fully a Dom, or fully a sub at all times. What it means is that for some people, Dom sub dynamics only work in the bedroom for them. They don't want it to bleed out into their actual lives, which is completely understandable and completely respectable. If it's not something that you want, it's not something that you should do. A 24/7 dynamic refers to the idea that these dynamics are part of your real life as well. What can that look like? Some people like rules. Some people love the idea of a contract. Don't get me wrong, earlier I was making fun of the 50 Shades people, but like sometimes rules and contracts make things so easy for people, and people love having that type of structure where they know exactly what is expected of them. And this is what I mean. You can make a contract with rules and an understanding and sign off on them, and that can be part of your 24/7 dynamic. Things like the sub signing the contract saying that they're going to submit to their Dom by letting them pick what they want to wear for the day, or making sure that they eat at specific times during the day. Things like that. That absolutely works for some people who are in a 24/7 dynamic, and that's a way that it can look like. That may not work for some people, and for some people, they love it. Again, that idea of having that structure and those expectations of them in a relationship, knowing that the person that they care about is either following the structure that they have set out or submitting to somebody because they are following the structure that they set out, that can lead to two people feeling very fulfilled in that relationship because there's cohesion, because there's communication, because they made a plan and they stuck to it. This is one part of the 24/7 dynamic that I personally don't follow, but I respect so much, because having this like mode of structure in your relationship works wonders for the health of it. That's one way that a 24/7 dynamic can look. Another way that it can look, which is a bit closer to my own relationship, it's purely based on the vibes. I'm gonna be real with you. It's just based on the vibes. I spoke in an earlier video about it a bit, about how we kind of default to our natural setting in these types of relationships, the type of people that we are. I've always been a naturally more dominant person with my personality and who I am. My girlfriend has always been a bit more of a submissive person, her default personality and who she is. Sometimes socially outside of the bedroom, we don't want that to be a part of our normal day-to-day lives. We don't want to feel the need to submit outside of the bedroom, or we don't want to be dominating outside of the bedroom. For us in our 24/7 dynamic, it's something that we fully lean into. I don't feel afraid to show a bit more of my dominant side when I'm trying to get her to do something that I know she needs to do, like drink water is the cliche one, obviously. And she doesn't feel the need to hide some of her more like submissive feelings, like when she wants us to cuddle or is being a baby or wants to just, feel at peace and at home in her body, feeling submissive. That's what a 24/7 dynamic is for us. It's purely based on the vibes of how our day-to-day life goes. Because there are some people who God, especially women, because they want to feel submission in the bedroom, but outside of it they do not want anybody telling them what to do, which you go queen, totally get it. There are other situations, that situation is where a 24/7 dynamic doesn't work and why people don't want to do it. There are other situations where people some people love the idea of like being like told what to do on a day-to-day basis in order to have somebody looking out for them. Because while I am the dom in my relationship, my girlfriend does a very good job of looking out for me. She does not do a great job of looking out for herself sometimes. So the idea of me telling her what she needs to do in order to take care of herself, creating space in order for her to do it, and setting that structure for her works very well for us. And that's pretty much what it all revolves around in the end, is that word that I keep using, which is structure. A 24/7 dynamic is structured in a way that allows you to be who you are in the relationship without any like confusion or worries about like, oh, am I allowed to do this right now, or like, am I allowed to do this? Having the 24/7 dynamic puts you in a position where you can just naturally be yourself. I can naturally, like, I don't have to second guess myself when I like see that she's been sitting for a long time and I know that she hasn't been eating anything. I can just go up to her and say, "Hey baby, you need to get up and eat something and walk around for a bit." And then like not I like I'll deal with the brattiness that comes after, if there's of course brattiness, which sometimes there is. And then she doesn't have to feel like weird about just listening or just like submitting to the idea that somebody is telling her what to do, because the dom has created an environment where they are respected and they are somebody worth listening to. What is a 24/7 dynamic? uh, in the simplest terms, to me, it's a way for two people in this kind of relationship to be themselves, like the most natural part of themselves. To me, especially if you are living with your partner, or like I do, or you are in a space where you're around them consistently, the 24/7 dynamic puts you in a position where you can fully step into who you are. You can fully step into the base raw primal version of your personality, because I can't just like go out into public socially and, you know, see somebody who I may be concerned about them or something and be like, you need to do this. Like, I can't do that socially. That's not okay. They don't know me. I don't know them. Um, it's something that eats at me, because I'm like, I want to help you and I want you to do like what I know would help you. But I like, again, there's consent there that needs to be established, and you don't know this person. You're a stranger to them. And then submissives, they get the opportunity to step into that, like, okay, I've wanted somebody to tell me what to do, but like I don't know you. I don't know who you are. Or let's say that like their boss at work is telling them what to do and they're like, fuck this guy. I don't want to mess with this dude. I hate that he tells me what to do. In a 24/7 dynamic, their submissive comes home, and they talk to somebody and they listen to somebody who they know loves and respects them and is genuinely looking out for them and trying to take care of them. So it gives them the freedom of stepping into that submissive nature with somebody who they know truly deserves it. A 24/7 dynamic looks very different for a lot of different people, and that's like the main takeaway that I think I want you to get from this video, is that there's no one true way to do any of this. There's no one exact right way to do anything when it comes to kink. Whatever works for you, what you and your partner have established, your normal, that is the right way for you. And that's why I try to make it so clear so often that I'm speaking about my experience, because that's all I can ever do. And I want your experience and what you desire from these relationships to be at the forefront of your mind when making these decisions. So that one day when you have your own 24/7 dynamic, if it's something that you like or something that you want, it's everything that you could have possibly hoped for.